4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
When you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
They'll run on first down with Wright.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, here's a run with Wright.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Tua going to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Tua going to give this to Wright.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again here with Wright.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd down and 6. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And if they're throwing on 3rd down, it's a good bet. They're going to look his way. He's the most reliable of their receivers, and he comes through there with a nice grab for the first down.
Now a give, running left is Wright.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Tua. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jalen Wright, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are on the board first here in this division round matchup. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. As they've got it as we resume action. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees a short yardage run.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 65 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a big play there for Miami. 42 yards. That's a heck of a way to convert on 3rd and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
A give up the middle to right. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Tua. Completes this to Elijah Higgins. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Tua now on 1st down. Open man is Waddle, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. They'll work the middle here with Wright. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And They'll go right back to right.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. They'll give this to Wright, running right.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Jalen Wright
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Point after here coming up. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw pulled in by Marshall.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Mahomes now on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
On first down, Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Mahomes to throw on second down. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping.
Butker's kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Wright. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Tagovailoa working out of the gun.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
On the give, this is Wright. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This 2nd and 4. On the handoff, it's Wright.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
On the ground, it's Wright.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And their defense did its job, forcing the take. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the sideline it goes. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
And when you're thinking about your opening drive in the 3rd quarter, you're thinking about exactly that, putting together a drive. But instead, what did we get?
Big pass downfield, touchdown. I thought, okay, just sitting back in my chair, let's get eased in, a couple runs. No, boom.
Yeah, forget the body blows, folks. Let's throw the big shot right now.
And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Tua. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua sets up to pass it. And he comes back with one complete. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now. Here's Pacheco once again. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in, went heavy. No surprise I knew was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 4. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. Consecutive runs of 6 yards. Gives him a 1st and 10.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And it's straight. It's Pacheco. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the handoff, it's Pacheco. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Butker's kick here is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round. They need to come up with something as they get this drive started. 60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to pass. Tua. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. A handoff now for Pacheco, taken down at the 47-yard line.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Pacheco. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And this is the worry, because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, Tua.
Throw caught by Achane.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Tua.
He's got Higgins over the middle. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Now 2nd and 4. Now Tua.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Throwing Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. Tua.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. But they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Tua to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Chiefs have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101. And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead. You're looking at moving on to the conference championship. And he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
The Chiefs going to play on another week as we say so long, everybody. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL